I've been into like this messy slick back vibe, like not doing my edges. I'll actually just like use my hand, not even like use a brush, just use my hand to just brush it back because I like just like the natural look. Do you guys remember that time Zendaya was on the red carpet and she had like this like just woke up bun look and then like her makeup? I lived for that. And then it's like the gown because it's just like, like I'm like in the castle. Like I'm in the castle. Hair, I'm running around and I'm in my gown because this is what I wear. And like I'm beautiful and I'm beautiful, I'm living. That's what I want. So, yeah, we're getting there. Anyway, let's get into the video. Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and you guys wanted an update on my date that I went on from my last video, safety tip video, and I'm here to share it with you guys. Which is only right, because it's like, how could I go on a date in front of y'all and not give y'all an update? Like, you're so right. We met up at the Marina Del Rey on a boat for dinner. And I thought that was nice. I wore what I wore. You guys saw. It was cute. I wore flats too, so it was easy to walk around. He looked like Andy Cohen, like no lie. He was very attractive. A little short, but there is a but. I personally don't think that it went well. I don't think that the date went well. I was attracted to him physically, but his attitude wasn't the best, honestly. And I mean that in terms of he was very nice, very kind guy, but he kept complaining about the idea of girls just using him for his money before we can even have a real conversation. And the fact that he's coming forward with that kind of fear and that kind of just like already, it's kind of like pushing me away. I'm not gonna lie. It made me feel a little bit like, okay, well, obviously I do want money and I do want nice things, like, but if you're already telling me from the jump, then I just feel like there's nowhere to go. And it's already making me kind of feel like I'm already on timeout or restriction, and it just wasn't my vibe. I don't really know how to describe the feeling, but it just felt very limiting already, and it just wasn't the vibe that I was going for. Obviously, I agree with him protecting himself and, laying out his boundaries as soon as we met, but I just felt like that energy just didn't give open. It didn't give something that I wanted to connect with. I didn't want to be offensive or anything that was just out of his range. So I definitely did not go on a second date with him. That was the one and only date that we went on, even though I thought he was very attractive. I just didn't like his mindset. He already came in complaining, and I'm just like, you just seem like you're emotionally unavailable. I don't know what you're going through, but you need to heal before you date, because I don't really want to hear about your previous dates. Is it me? I don't know. I can't tell, but the vibe was just off. And if you feel me, I know someone feels me, because it just, yeah, like it's like going on a date and someone's just talking about their ex. It's just not the vibe. I'm not into that. It just felt like he was just trying to humble my expectations, trying to like, I don't know, I'm just like, I don't need to be here. Bye. Like, you're just not the one. We're just not supposed to be connected. And yeah, next. Like, I can't with that I can't with the pessimistic outlook on life, like, period. That goes for anybody. And if, yeah, like, if you don't have an abundant mindset, then there's no way that we can flow. Like, yeah, so that was just a red flag. I didn't fuck around and find out. I have not spoken to this person. So, yeah. So I wanted to make this video to actually talk about how I usually vet sugar daddies. Like, I've only had one real like sugar daddy, but I've been on quite a few dates at this point, and I can tell like the guys that were serious versus the guys that were just like sleazy and just not the vibe. Like, and I just hope that if you've ever been on any of these kinds of dates, that you know that you don't have to compromise. You really don't, because there is someone out there that will treat you the way that you should be treated, and that will provide the things that you need to provide. Don't take no for an answer. Just go to the next one. And that's why I'm really just, dating is so important, because you got to really be careful. If you go into it with a lack mindset, you're going to just settle for some bullshit, honestly. And I really don't want you to do that, honestly. I believe that you can find your match, and you can be human to humans to someone and say, hey, I need this and I want this, and yeah. And if they're like, of course you do, and I'm happy to receive that, and I want this, and like I really feel like da 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 da, there can be a real conversation, and not just like this, I don't know, that transactional vibe. Like, there's the nuance to it that I'm just not a fan of. And if you're not going into it with a real intention to connect and to have a bond with each other and to explore chemistry that you guys can have together, then it's like there's no point. Like, this is like, there's a million people, like billions of people on this planet, and I'm not about to settle for you when my person's out there. I want to just give some little things that I know. They're not all of the things, but there are some of the things that I can share with you guys that I know when I go on dates, that I know I'm like, okay, I'm going to save this person's number into my phone. I'm going to know their name. They're going to know my name. And we going to text. That's how I know. Not everyone gets that privilege. I usually give out a text-free number. I don't give guys my phone number unless I'm really trying to connect with them. These are things that would make me want to connect with them. Number one, after the first date, they send you money without you having to ask, without you even having to talk about money. You guys actually don't have to talk about money. Like, how unromantic and unsexy is that? Why are we talking about money on the first date? But then they send you money. That is, I'm saving your number. Like, everybody, like, what? I will say from personal experiences, every time I went on a date with like an older Black man, like, they would send me money first day, like $1,000 at least, like multiple occasions where first date, like, just send me money. And I'm like, so take that for what it is. The guys that are willing to have a phone conversation before meeting up, I feel like those are the ones that actually value chemistry and connection, and want to just like make sure that you're a real person, and that you're a sane person, and that, you know, like, they can hear your voice. I can respect that, and I also agree with that. Like, I think that can also help each other to see like, okay, like, who are you? Let's just like get a feel. And I think that's fair. And I feel like those guys that want to do that, I think that's a green flag, because yeah, like, they're probably also scared of you too. So, you know, and then also the ones that are immediate with planning dates. I think that those guys are really about their business and really trying to find their girl. Like, and I think those are the ones that aren't the ones just like dating around and sleeping around with people. Like, so I feel like those, like, that's the vibe I get from them. But y'all let me know. I really pay attention to where they plan the dates. I feel like decent planning when it comes to like the place, the hour, the effort. I think that matters. To me at least, I want to see effort. I want to see you trying to make me happy and to impress me and to make me feel good. So that's also a green flag. I'm not going anywhere that I don't want to be. Usually I have like restaurants that I want to try within the city that I would go with my friends, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to pay like $600 for dinner myself out of my own pocket. So I'm going to wait until a guy asks me where I want to eat and I'm going to say there because, yeah, so I usually save those kinds of places for these kinds of dates. And that's just what I like to do because I like food and I like dining and I like fine dining. So usually I go to those like restaurants and that's usually like my litmus test, like for real. Like if they're really down to spend some money on food and drinks, I'm like, okay, like, like you want to hang with a bad bitch. Like, you know what I like, and I feel like that's like the first step. And yeah, that's how it should be. Like, yeah, let's have this dinner. Let's go here. Let's get this reservation. Like, let's do it up. Easy, easy math. I think another good sign is when they're just good listeners. When you can't put nothing past them. I love those because it's like you're here with it and you're not to be played with. And I like that because I'm not to be played with. So you're not going to play with me and I'm not going to play with you. And I feel like they're just like, they're actually interested in who you are. They're not about to spend time with nobody that's like a liability. Like they're actually willing to connect and get to know you and go through the stages of like dating and yeah, like not be strangers anymore. That's a big thing for me. I'm a very emotionally attached kind of person and I need that. And I also want someone that wants that. Like I'm not into the ones that are touch and go. Like I'm just not. So that goes into my next thing. When they start using language like PPM or like friends with benefits, I'm just not into that. I think that obviously like it's all under the umbrella of like sex work, da da da, but I just think that there's just a higher risk when it comes to that kind of language. And I don't think that sugaring is the same as that kind of like operation. I think that you're actually looking for an arrangement with someone. And I believe that it should be exclusive. And I think that once it starts to get into that language, it could be still exclusive, but I feel like once it gets into that language, it's a certain type of guy looking for a certain type of service. Honestly, I think that you should think of this as a boyfriend-girlfriend type of relationship and dynamic. It's light, nothing too heavy, nothing too high stakes. It's fun. It should be fun and it should not be stressful. Like this should be fun and playful and pleasurable. Once it stops being like that, I think it's time to move on. But that's how you should think about it. So that's it. Those are just a few of my little tips that I would say. Maybe they'll change. Maybe there's more. Yeah, like these are just things that I feel like can be helpful for you if you're interested in this kind of dating and just getting the best outcome. That's all I'm here for. And yeah, so Let's get this money, girls. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me everywhere at taybri. Yeah.